Greetings, gamers, guardians, and ghosts. I just did the Warden of Nothing. I spawned in midway at the Prison of Elders section, and this player was there, and it was, he was there kind of moving around a little bit, didn't really pay much attention to it because it was the landmine section, and so I immediately jumped on the A and tried to, get that one. And when that one was resolved, I went to B. And I was looking at the time left, and I was looking at how fast I was capturing these points, and I was thinking to myself, why isn't this guy? I mean, maybe he went to the bathroom or something. Whatever, it happens. But I noticed it was just him or her and me, you know. And I recognized the clan, because I did after a while. I looked at the player's emblem, and I saw the insane clan, and I've seen this clan before with that little, I don't know what that symbol is there. I've seen this clan before in PvP mostly. This is the first time I ever seen thing. Now, it doesn't say here because we're not in the activity anymore, but it says cross save enabled, and he's got the flawless title as well. Actually, we can. Never mind. So, and then I looked at the clan now, and I'm like, I don't read German. I think that's in German. It's a PvP clan, yet they're doing strikes. I guess that's the KDR is 1.8 efficiency. I guess that's what that means, efficiency, or 25 flawless wins, maybe, perhaps. I don't know what that means. But so yeah, so after defusing the mines, and then the boss shows up, the player would move around, throw a grenade, pull up the ghost, and then die. 26 seconds later would self-res. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. So I brought in one of my clanmates, Star Warrior Prime here, and I asked him, I says, you are seeing the same thing I'm seeing. And we both agreed that, yeah, we are seeing the same thing. And it's a pattern. And now, in the past, I called myself Hakobot because, and Hako is box in Japanese, and bot is short for robot, which in the very first instance, one of the first instances of its use, meant servant or slave too. So I was a slave to the box, and all the levels of implication that brings in. But in gaming terms, that meant that everybody thought I was a botter, and so I eventually changed my name to Artist Poet. But back when people used to accuse me of botting, I would troll. I would troll in PvP and in strikes, and I would move my character around, making it look like, I was a bot. And then people would PM me and says, "Are you a real bot?" And I'd be like, "No, dude, I'm fucking around because until I can change my gamer tag, whatever. Long story short, I have trolled and goofed off and pranked in games acting like a bot, but you could tell that there's no way you can precisely move your character from one point to another and repeat all those actions in almost in nearly precise time. And the only time his pattern would ever change is if he interfered with something like an enemy or an obstruction, or when I pushed him off a cliff. There are videos for that later on. So basically, this is just a short end card kind of situation, or a setup, prologue, epilogue kind of situation. I'm going to take my videos into Share Factory. I've already got a raw YouTube stream out there that's on the channel. I'm leaving it up. I'm going to go in and I'm going to tag it so that Bungie can see it. But I've heard of people going AFK in the haunted forest, on the firewall forest, so they can just farm the chests and get the coins and all that stuff. And I've heard of people doing this before, but there's only a few things that, and I mentioned them in the videos too, that I could think that this is possibly somewhere to happen, because I've always been told that there's no way for you to install macros on your console. But somebody did one time brag to me that he's running his console through his PC, and technically he's playing from his Steam account. This is when cross save got enabled. So apparently there's some way that people are able to do what they can do on PC and bring it into console to do it, or they're running their consoles through the PC, where they can then have access to the macros. I don't know how that stuff's installed or how it operates or it impacts your gameplay, but this guy was definitely running a bot. This guy was definitely running a macro. I mean, you can take a look. The SWT072. I could go look up his light GG, I guess, or his Guardian GG, and see what kind of actual records this character has. But he has He had it like Revoker. He's got a Baroque Drang. He had Trials equipment. Obviously the Trials emblem here and the Trials title. Um, and I'm just you know it just doesn't do good for the game. And I'm grateful that Bungie has finally taken measures to address the cheaters. Um, but this is also a form of cheating. This kind of AFK botting is form of cheating, and it's one thing if you do it like say in a firewalled experience, like you go into the haunted forest all by yourself and you do that. That's fine. Or like when we were doing it with the Black Armory forges, everybody knew that if you everybody who was going to be doing the AFK farm lowered their lights in such a way that we were all operating at the lowest light, even lower than what a new light player would want to go in and do those with. And even then, I did it like I did it for uh, a couple days, and and then of course Bungie patched it, and I was like, yeah, I didn't feel good about doing that, what I mean. But it was like we didn't do it in such a way that we were impacting other people's play. Now, Warden of Nothing is not a bad strike. I mean, right now we're all at a really insane power level that it doesn't matter. I could literally solo the Warden of Nothing, but here's the thing: when I went in with my fire team, and like I said, I did this only with an actual fire team. We all knew what we were doing. We were going to do this. Um, I would if I did it stag, okay, if I went in the first couple times I went in by myself, and if I saw people were actually trying to do the forge, I'd re-equip and do the forge because I didn't feel like dragging their asses down just because I wanted to be a lazy fuck and get a bunch of resources, for no effort. Um, so I would stick in the forge, and I would complete the forge because because even though I may be watching YouTubes or building a Gundam or something like that on my desktop or drawing or whatever while the game was playing, I was still eyes on the game. I wasn't like launch the game and go do grocery shopping or do dishes or laundry or some bullshit like that. I still sat here. I just didn't pick up the controller. My hands were busy, building kits and making art, but I was still watching the. I'm repeating myself because I'm just that flustered about this. Um, Grabbing my pearls, if you want to say, but yeah, this guys, if you see this shit, don't be quiet about it because the only reason why Bungie finally went ahead and did something about the aimbot sites and all that shit is one, they had somebody call them out repeatedly, and thank you for Aztec, Cross and Cactus and Houndish and all those guys who talked about the cheaters. I don't think Houndish really did. I think Cactus did. Mtash talked about cheaters a lot. So thanks to all those community guys. If I didn't name you, I'm sorry. Um, who talked about it. Thank you to all the regular players like myself who would post videos and post comments and say, hey, this is ruining the experience for everyone. Um, so the Bungie finally got around to finding them and taking care of them. And I know it takes resources. This is not something that you can just click and you dough. I actually did for about a week or so try to find uh, carry services, which are pretty much advertised right now on YouTube. It's pretty amazing. Anytime you watch any kind of gaming streaming, there's going to be an ad off to the side advertising carrying services. You go out to certain websites like LightGG and Guardian GG and DestinyTracker.com. There'll be an ad that shows up that's hey, get this gun for $25 or $40 or whatever. And going through a carry service, I still think it's kind of cheeky. um, but you are yourself not using any cheats, but it's probably because volume is everything for these people. When you do a service, it's all about volume. Their fastest way to get through the client is to do cheats, so they were probably cheating and doing that. um, so yeah, that Destiny was actually able to find those websites that Aztec Cross talked about. That's kind of amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and post this up, and then as I launch the other videos to show you guys what I was observing, I will then put links into the description here so you can find those as well. And I hope Bungie, if you have in fact stumbled across this, I am going to tag you here. Hopefully, you'll take this up as something else to look into, and it's not as breaking as actual cheating is, but it kind of puts a burden on the player base that doesn't need to be there. You know, when we're already like really just kind of floating on the hype to be here as it is. So anyway, thanks for watching. Leave some comments, and I hope to not have to talk about this again.